Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back to this channel and watching this video. In this video, I wanted to talk about 5 mistakes junior chefs make. So let's go! Number 5, not learning the menu. When I go in to apply for any job, I always grab a to-go menu. I like to know what I'm getting myself into before I actually turn in my application and interview for the job. That way in my head, I kind of know what to look forward to and what kind of preparation I'm gonna be looking at and stuff like that. So learning the menu is very important when you're starting any job at a restaurant. And once you get the job, it's so annoying to have to deal with the new guy always asking you what goes in what and do I put this on that and what goes where. If you're seeing a lot of ingredients that you've never actually used before, go home and Google them, YouTube it, do your research on new items that you see on the menu that you've never actually used before. For example, when I went to Hawaii, they used myoga a lot, which is like a ginger blossom flower thing. I didn't know what it was. Went home, Googled it. I even went to the store and bought some just to kind of taste it and see and understand what it was before I was actually being paid to handle this stuff. Number 4, you stop practicing basic prep because you think you got it. Take your time, learn the new skill, and practice it. You're not gonna master it within a week, I promise you. You start to lose your skill when you stop practicing. And before you learn something new and try to move on, make sure you can do that prep in your sleep. Sometimes when I'm trying to learn too many things at once, I start to get overwhelmed and then I forget how to do what. By that time, I completely forgot how to julienne or make suma out of cucumber. But guys, just keep practicing. You're not gonna become the best. I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm still not the best at cucumber skins, katsuramuki, daikon suma. I'm not good at those stuff still, but I'm still practicing every day. Number 3, buying all the expensive equipment before you actually stage. Most of the times, whenever you go into a new sushi bar or in a kitchen, hopefully you'll have a mentor. My very first job, I was lent a knife and whatever tools I needed. Nowadays, when I'm training my students, I will let them borrow one of my knives. Don't buy everything you need up front, especially if you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And if you do have a chef or a mentor that is willing to let you use their equipment, treat it like it's your baby. Treat it like it's a limb. Also, you don't want to buy all the expensive equipment. You look like an idiot. You look like a kid with a Lamborghini that doesn't know how to drive yet. My first vegetable knife was a cheap $4 knife from Ross. And you'll find that you're gonna buy many more the longer you go into the future. You'll find that, okay, well, I'm doing this kind of work, now I need this kind of knife. For example, I didn't obtain a deba until I started actually breaking down fish. Number 2, not writing things down. Whenever I start a new restaurant, I always carry a book, whether it be a small notebook or a composition notebook, and I'll write down what I have to prep, how to set up my station, small notes that I'll need to have just in case I don't have to ask and bother somebody else in the future. You'll be able to take notes, you can write your recipes and ingredients. When you write things down, you're more confident and you don't have to keep asking your senior chefs or any other chefs they're busy prepping too. When you write them down, you can refer back to them, just pull them out and just kind of, okay, well, easy, quick, and it'll actually make your prep time faster. Also, I have maybe 4 or 5 books that I keep that I add to, and I have one master book that I put everything, but whenever I go to different restaurants or I'm doing different things, I'll carry books here and there that I'll fill up over time. So I have all these recipes in maybe 4 or 5 different books. And then when I have the time, I like to sit down and kind of put everything new into this one book. And I call that the Bible. It's always important to write things down and kind of log and track where you're going. And the most fun part is when you're 10 years later down the road, you'll get to go back to that and look and say, okay, I remember when that happened and I remember writing this down. So please, you guys, write it down. And my number 1, the number 1 biggest mistake that I've seen, and it's so annoying, not tasting your food. Learning new sauces, taste it. Note the flavor, the profile, note your overall experience. And one thing I like to do is I like to tell my students, I like to tell them, close your eyes while you taste this, and that way they can just kind of take everything in and let it marinate into their brain. Don't assume because you followed a recipe, that recipe was written by someone with a completely different palate. And in this time, you can also adjust in case you think, okay, well, maybe I might have missed something, or I need to readjust. Too much acidity, too much sugar, too much salt. Always keep tasting. And if there's something that you're allergic to, or something that you absolutely do not like or do not eat, have someone else taste it. For example, I don't eat beef. If I'm prepping some kind of beef, I'll have my senior chefs taste it. And a bonus mistake we all make. I used to make this all the time. My station was dirty. Every time I would be doing something, I would just leave my station a mess, and I would go do that, and then I'd come back and I'd find it just a big mess. And I remember working with a guy at Ichiban a long time ago named Cha-Cha, and he would, every time I would walk away, he'd come back and just give me this like dirty face, just, what a mess. And he's like this little Vietnamese guy. He's so funny. He's just so dirty. So that's another bonus tip, you guys. Clean your station before moving on to a new ticket, before leaving your station at all. Wipe your knives, wipe down your cutting board, wipe everything down. So that's gonna be it for today, you guys. I just got Call of Duty, so I wanna play that. It looks like it's gonna rain, but I also need to do some dishes, and I got a bunch of other stuff I gotta do. But I want to say thank you so much for coming back to this channel, watching this video. It means a lot to me. I'm trying to have a consistent upload, 2, maybe even 3 a week. So it means a lot to me that you guys are coming back to watch this video. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you want. If not, no big deal. You might catch me in the future with even more videos. So hit that like button if you've learned something from this video. Thanks for watching, guys.